Hi everyone! So today I finally have the lighting to do a Monster High collection video. This is one of the most requested collection videos. I want to say I have just under 140 Monster High dolls right now. I was originally going to include my Ever After High in this video, but I have so many Monster High and not that many Ever After High dolls. So I will do a later video on just my Ever After High dolls, but probably not for a long time because I just don't have a lot of dolls. I'm going to show you around and introduce you to each doll, say a little something about them. If you want to know more about them, if you want to read more of like my story behind them, if you want to know any informative stuff, if you just want to see pictures, check out my Monster High album on Flickr. I will link my Flickr down below in the description. These dolls are not wearing all of their shoes and accessories because their shoes have a lot of painted detail, so in storage the shoes tend to rub off on each other's faces, so that's why a lot of them aren't wearing shoes or certain hair pieces and things that fall off. But I do have a lot of their accessories, they're just not all wearing them, and some of them are sitting really awkwardly because these are posable dolls, so they don't sit up the best on their own. It took me literally, I want to say, an hour and a half to set this up, so I really hope you enjoy. Monster High dolls mean a lot to me. Bratz and American Girl are my favorite dolls to collect, and Monster High are like right below them. I'm obsessed with Monster High. I've been collecting them for almost 4 years now. I got my first dolls in March of 2013. I'm going to have a whole video on why I love Monster High and like how I got into them. Please be respectful and don't ask me if any of these dolls are for sale, trade, donation, or if I'll give you any. They're really, really important to me, and I hope you can just understand that. So without further ado, I'm going to take you along. I hope you can see these guys okay. The sun is kind of weird right now, but let's get to it. So I'm going to give you a quick overview. These guys literally form a circle around the entire room. So this is Gloom Beach Clawdeen. I got her at the flea market in October of 2013. She was in the Lagoona bin, which was basically a lot of really scruffy looking dolls. She was in really bad condition when I got her. She's really loose, so she doesn't sit very well. Her hair was soaked in glue, but she's doing so much better now, and I always really wanted Gloom Beach Clawdeen. She was the one I most wanted from the line, and she was the first doll I had from the line. So then we have Werewolf Sister Pack Clawdeen. I got her at Target. The first few months I was collecting Monster High, I really wanted Howleen, and I didn't think much of this Clawdeen doll, but ever since I got this pack, ever since I picked it up at Target, Clawdeen was always my favorite. I feel like I don't pay nearly as much attention to Howleen. This is one of my favorite Monster High dolls in my whole collection. She is gorgeous. So then we have Sweet 1600 Clawdeen. I always really liked the Sweet 1600 dolls. They appealed to me greatly when I first got into Monster High, but I, for some reason, didn't get them. I ended up finding her and Frankie at Barnes & Noble in 2014 for like, I want to say more than 50% off. So it was part of the Barnes & Noble Bonanza. You'll be seeing a lot of dolls. In fact, Music Festival Clawdeen next to her is part of that Bonanza. She's the reason why these dolls are actually out today. I had a picture of her body I needed to retake, and I somehow accidentally replaced the photo of her face, so she didn't even have a facial close-up on Flickr. But she is beautiful, and I got her for half off at Barnes & Noble. She's one of the prettiest Monster High dolls ever. I mean, just look at her. So then we have Dead Tired Clawdeen. I'm pretty sure this was my very first Clawdeen doll. I got her at the Family Dollar on like a buy one get one half off sale with the other two dolls from her line. And what's unique about her is she just looks a lot more tomboyish than the other Clawdeen dolls that were made. Our Ghouls Clawdeen. Please excuse her smushed looking bangs. I got her at Target. It was right after I got into them. My sister and I sold a bunch of my dad's scrap metal and stuff around the yard to some guys, and we got a bunch of cash, and I went to Target and bought some Monster High dolls because I'm not very adult, and I really like her because she looks like a superhero. I love that kind of theme. Then we have Skull Shores Clawdeen. So I got the Skull Shores pack at Target the first 6 months I was collecting Monster High. I got it on sale for like, I want to say it was $15 on sale, and I wanted it for this Clawdeen doll because she's beautiful, and she wasn't sold separately because I already had some of the separately sold dolls. Then we have the first edition Clawdeen. She's actually the re-release, which is why she's not at the beginning. She's the 2012 variant. There are a lot of re-releases of Clawdeen. If you want to know more about all the re-releases of the first editions, I have it all documented on my Flickr. I got her on Target's website. I really, really wanted these re-releases when I got into Monster High. I really, really wanted her because I didn't have the chance to get these dolls when they came out because I wasn't even collecting dolls when Monster High first came out. So I was excited that Mattel was kind enough to re-release these dolls and like so true to the original form. People were really mean about it on my old Flickr account. Like, I don't know, because Monster High were so popular at the time, people like to go around and like tell other people that their dolls were inferior, basically, and were kind of making things up about the re-releases and saying, oh, they have different head molds, your doll is ugly, and it was really mean, and it didn't make me think less of my doll, it just kind of turned me off from the online community. So these dolls have the same molds, same body molds, same head molds as the original dolls. The difference is their hips are plastic, and their journals are slightly different, and Frankie actually has a different face. And Clawdeen has clawed hands on the re-release instead of the old school Monster High hands. So then we have Little Dead Clawdeen, and I got her at Target on sale after an eye doctor's appointment that summer. I got her Snow Bite, who you'll see in a few minutes, and also my Sea Stunner's Chloe. And then we have Ghouls Night Out Clawdeen from the 4-pack. I had to get this 4-pack at Walmart. I actually had like just given myself a rule that I needed to slow down on buying Monster High dolls by that fall of 2013 because I was like on a rampage, and I broke that rule when I saw this pack because it is the coolest thing ever. Then we have Scarus Clawdeen. I got her at Kmart for, I want to say like half off, $9-10, sometime in 2014. I originally wasn't as into Scarus, Frankie, Clawdeen, and Draculaura, but when I saw Frankie and Clawdeen on sale, I had to get them, and she's so beautiful. I don't know why I wasn't totally taken with her before. Then we have Haunt the Casbah Clawdeen. I got her at Barnes & Noble, part of the Barnes & Noble Bonanza of 2014. So I wanted the Haunt the Casbah dolls the moment they came out. I saw them at my local Walmart, and I was like beyond taken with them. I love dolls with glittery makeup. I love genie-themed dolls. I was all about that. Then we have Roller Maze Clawdeen. She was one of my most wanted Monster High dolls. I got her this summer at the flea market for $5. I just really love this doll. I love this line. She was the last one I needed from this line, and this line just means a lot to me. It was one of the lines that was out when I got into collecting. And then we have my Ghouls Rule Clawdeen. You guys have seen her in a transformation video. Got her at the Salvation Army. Black Carpet, Frights Camera Action Clawdeen. I got her at the flea market for a few dollars from some elderly people that I've gotten a lot of dolls from, and she's beautiful. And then we have my Freaky Field Trip Clawdeen, who I got in the same time as this Clawdeen. You guys have seen her in a transformation video. Now we're on to Lagunas. So this is first edition Lagoona. I got her in the Lagoona bin at my local flea market in 2013, and she was one of the Monster High dolls I most wanted. Oops. I love Lagoona. She's one of my favorite characters, and at the time, like, you couldn't find any of these dolls for affordable online. People were really competitive, and I found her at my flea market. She was in really bad condition. She has some chipped paint, and her hair was soaked in glue, and her limbs are all loose, but she is my pride and joy. She has been in a few of my other videos and thumbnails and stuff because I love her so much. These are her like third pair of homemade earrings I've made for her. And then we have School's Out Lagoona. I was really excited to find her at Barnes & Noble when I first got into collecting because I couldn't find first edition Lagoona, and she wasn't one of the ones they re-released at the time. So she was the next best thing, and she's one of my sister and my favorite Monster High dolls. Then we have Mad Science Lagoona. But I couldn't find Lagoona or Frankie until it was like a few days before 2014 or 2015. I don't remember. It was like right before the new year. I found them at my local Walmart. They were the Black Friday versions without the lockers, and they had been put out, and I just had to buy them. So then we have Dotted Gorgeous Lagoona. I got her with my Power Ghouls Clawdeen you saw a few minutes ago. I had a thing for Lagoona dolls, and she kind of is like really fancy looking, so I just had to get her. Then we have Skull Shores Lagoona. I got her at my local flea market in 2014, I think for like $3. And she's also been in a video because I got her a new arm because her hand connector was kind of starting to wear out. So she's been in one of my haul videos. And then we have my Swim Class Lagoona, who is probably the most important Monster High doll in this whole video because she was my first. I got her, Swim Class Venus, and Swim Class Draculaura at the same time. I had been thinking about getting Scarus Deuce. I couldn't find Scarus Deuce, but when on our trips looking for him, I kept seeing this Lagoona at stores and I had to get her. I got her at Benny's on sale with the other two, and she was definitely one of my most photographed Monster High dolls on my old Flickr account. She was in all kinds of cameos. Then we have Scarus Lagoona. I think she was my second Lagoona doll in my collection. I wanted the pack mostly for Cleo at the time, but I love Lagoona just as much now. I mean, she's adorable. Then we have Roller Maze Lagoona. I love this line because they have such cool neon makeup and neon hair and these really cool 80s outfits. I just love it. I got her with Dot Dead Gorgeous at Target. And then we have Picture Day Lagoona. So I wasn't really all that wowed by her when I saw pictures of this line come out on the internet, and I ended up seeing her at Target not long after she came out, and she is so much prettier in person than in photographs, and Colleen and I just had to buy her even though I was supposed to not be buying as many Monster High dolls. No regrets. She might be the prettiest Lagoona doll in my collection, either her or Ghouls Night Out Lagoona, who I got at Barnes & Noble as part of the Barnes & Noble Bonanza. She was 50% off. I couldn't say no. I love her dolphin earrings. They remind me of Backyard Beach Bash jades. Then we have 13 Wishes Lagoona. I got her at Barnes & Noble too. She was actually the reason that I went on a Monster High spree because my sister was there getting a book and I looked at the dolls and I saw this Lagoona and I had really been wanting her because I love the 13 Wishes line and she was on sale and I was just going to get her, but then somehow I ended up coming home with a ton of dolls because that's the story of my life. So then we have my Draculauras. Draculaura is probably my favorite Monster High character presently because she looks like Jade. So this is Dead Tired Draculaura. She's actually the version that was sold at Kohl's later on with the jewelry box coffin, but she's dated 2010 too. It's really weird even though she was a later release. And her slippers are a different color. The originals were pink, hers are black. She's not wearing them. But she came with less stuff too, and she came with pierced ears even though she didn't come with earrings. So that was really interesting, and I wanted this Dead Tired doll because that was one of my favorite Monster High dolls ever made, and I got her for half off on Kohl's website with free shipping because it was a really expensive set original. I think it was $40 or $50. Ghouls Out, quote unquote, Draculaura, who comes with Claude. I don't have Claude, but I got Draculaura this summer at the flea market for $5. She is one of my favorite Monster High dolls. She's just the cutest, goofiest looking thing ever. She doesn't sit up very well, and I had seen her in the wrong outfit from another seller the year before for almost the same price, but I had to keep telling myself not to buy her because it was way overpriced. I'm glad I waited because I love this doll. And then you guys have seen my Gloom Beach Draculaura. She was in the last Dolly Transformations video because she got this bathing suit. I got her for $1 at the flea market in 2015, naked with her stand. I love her, and I redid her hair and everything. So then we have my two Skull Shores Draculauras. This is the separately sold girl. This is the pack girl. I mentioned how I got the pack when I was showing you Clawdeen, and they look really different. She's super goofy looking and kind of homely, and she's really beautiful looking. I got her first at Barnes & Noble. I just loved her sailor theme, and I really can't say no to Draculaura dolls. I can't. Then we have Sweet 1600 Draculaura. I wanted her the most out of the Sweet 1600 line, but I couldn't find her at Barnes & Noble. I couldn't find her anywhere. I think I saw her one time at Toys R Us when I finally decided I wanted to get her, but she was really expensive. But I got her this summer at the flea market for $5, and it made my life. Then we have Swim Class Draculaura. Fun fact, she was the very first Monster High doll I ever opened. I got her at Benny's with my other first girl over there, Swim Class Lagoona. And these dolls were re-released as Beach Beasties, which is interesting. I have the version with no fangs, and I love her. She's probably my favorite from the Swim Class line now. She's gorgeous. Then we have Dead Tired Draculaura. I think this was my second Draculaura doll ever. I got her at Family Dollar for buy one, get one half off. And then we have my re-release first edition Draculaura, so she's 2012. This was the Monster High doll I most wanted in the world. I don't know what it is about her, but this is my favorite Monster High doll in my collection. I really wish I had the Frightfully Tall version of her. I don't know, she just looks like Express It Jade to me. I really wanted her, and I was scoping these re-releases out, but Draculaura was always sold out, and the day that I found her online with Frankie on Walmart's website. And my sister literally heard me scream because I was so excited about getting this doll. I have literally never been that excited about finding a doll on the internet ever, and I have bought a lot of dolls online. And then we have Snow White. Snow White is one of my favorite Disney characters, so it's super cool that Monster High made a Draculaura version. It's like the best of both worlds. She has super cool green makeup. These dolls are really, really high quality. I was so impressed when I got them, and I got her with my little dead Clawdeen that you saw a few minutes ago at Target on sale. This is Scarus Draculaura. She was the last doll from the Scarus line I got. I got her at the Barnes & Noble Bonanza in 2014. She was my least favorite at the time when I got the line, but she's one of my favorites now. So you can tell I even made her a little hair clip. My 13 wish is Draculaura. So I found Haunt the Casbah, Clawdeen, and Frankie at Barnes & Noble, but I couldn't find Draculaura, and I was really upset that I couldn't find Sweet 1600 Draculaura either. So I actually tracked her down at Kmart and paid full price for her because I'm an addict. I love her. My favorite from the Haunt the Casbah line. Then we have my Ghoulias. Ghoulia is one of my favorite Monster High characters. She's tired Ghoulia. I got her this summer at the flea market for $5. I was really excited to have her because I remember seeing this doll a lot when this line was in stores. And then I have the Go Team Ghoulia, so she came in a 3-pack. We got her from the same seller as this Ghoulia. Monster High lady, she was $5 too. A lot of these secondhand ones that I say cost $5 came from that lady. This pack is really special to me because the first time I ever saw Monster High dolls out of the box, I was buying Bratz dolls from Craigslist with my dad, and the girl was selling her Bratz dolls to buy Monster High, and they had this set on the mantle above the fireplace, and I knew in my heart that day that one day I would have that set, and one day I would collect Monster High dolls. But I was very distracted by Bratz at the time, that's why it took so long. So then we have my 2 physical education Ghoulias. This was one of the Monster High dolls I most wanted because even though I was in fierce denial about liking Monster High for a long time, Colleen and I both liked this Ghoulia because she's school themed. How could you not like her? She's amazing. So I found her on Target's website. She was the only one I could get at the time. I got her with Scarce Genifire. And the interesting thing is that someone gave me this doll. They didn't want her, so they gave her to me. And she has really, really thick hair. And she's obviously a little older than this doll because her legs are strong and she has plastic hips, but she came with a locker. So she's not a re-release. So it's just interesting how many times these dolls were probably resold. Then we have my 2 Skull Shores Ghoulias. Sorry about the lighting. So this is a separately sold doll. We call her Ghoulia Cabot because she used to wear a fashion pack on display because these guys were on display for a long time. And she looked like a character from Law and Order. So that's where I call her Ghoulia Cabot. And then, I got her at Kmart a long time ago. She was my first Ghoulia doll, one of my first Monster Highs. And then she's from the gift set. Like I said, I got that at Target for really cheap, and she's gonna get her hair done soon because it's crazy. And speaking of getting her hair done, Ghoulia here, Roller Maze, needs her hair redone. I got her in the Barnes & Noble Bonanza. I was really happy to get this doll because Monster High Lady had this doll that same summer, but she was like missing a bunch of stuff and was really overpriced. Then we have the Gloom Beach gift set Ghoulia. I got her this summer for $5, and I was so excited when I found her because I love beach dolls, and she was only sold in that pack. So then we have Scarus Ghoulia. I got her the same day as one of my Scarus Deuces, and I really wanted her. I love her dark lipstick, and this outfit is one of my favorites. I just love the basic Monster High dolls, like the slim box ones. And then we have Mad Science Lab Partners Ghoulia. I will talk more about them when I get to Cleo. Then we have Ghouls Night Out Ghoulia. We call her Ghoulia Jepsen because for some reason she reminds us of Carly Rae Jepsen. And then we're on to Frankies. So these are the 2 first edition Frankies. So this is original Frankie and this is re-release Frankie. And this is the only re-release of the 2011 and 2012 re-releases that's different. You can see that she has wider eyes. I personally like the wider eyed screening better because that's what I'm used to. I got her with my first edition Lagoona and Gloom Beach Clawdeen in the Lagoona bin. She was actually the only one of the Monster High dolls that wasn't totally trashed. She has everything. She even has her doggy. And I got her with Draculaura off Walmart's website. A bunch of used dolls. So we have Dawn of the Dance, Frankie, who I really, really wanted. I was tempted to buy this doll re-released a few years ago, but I couldn't find her, and they were kind of overpriced at Toys R Us. But I got her this summer for $5 from Monster High Lady. I also got her this summer at the flea market, but from someone else, the person that sold me the Frights Camera Action Clawdeen. This is School's Out Frankie. She's adorable. I love the School's Out dolls. I wish I could find more of them. And then we have Dead Tired Frankie, who I got with Dawn of the Dance Frankie, as well as Gloom Beach Frankie. But it was funny because the dolls are $5 each, and she had a ton of them, so we had to pick like only so many at a time to buy because I just didn't have that kind of like cash on me. So I left her behind because I knew they had re-releases out at the time. So I thought that made more sense, but my sister was literally moaning the day before we went to the flea market about how she wished we bought this doll, and then we found her again. So I'm really happy. And that was the same case with Gloom Beach Frankie, because there are re-releases out of her right now, and I got her from the same seller for $5, and she had Sharpie like drawn on her eyelashes because I guess she was missing eyelashes, and you can see she's missing a big chunk of her eyebrow. This doll just wasn't painted well, and I feel really bad, but I love you, Frankie. Your flaws are fine with me. So then we have Home Ick Frankie. I got her with Mad Science Lagoona. Then we have my two Skull Shores Frankie. So this is the pack doll. She had a super jacked up haircut when I got her. It took me forever to like fix this, even though she was brand new. And I really wanted the black and white Frankie because I thought it was so awesome that there were color variations. And I was actually looking for Bratz dolls when I found her at Marshall's or TJ Maxx. I don't remember which. She was pretty cheap if I remember right, and I spotted her on the shelf. I think she was the only one, and I literally walked at her with my arms stretched out in front of me like a zombie, and Colleen saw me do that, and then she realized why I was like literally in a trance because I wanted this doll so badly. Then we have Sweet 1600 Frankie. I got her as part of the Barnes & Noble Bonanza. The funny thing is I almost bought this doll several times at other stores when I first got into Monster High dolls, but they were kind of expensive. This line was usually like $22, $25. So I'm glad I waited because I think I got her for $12 or $13 instead. Then we have my two Roller Maze Frankies, and yes, I can tell them apart. This one here is my second-hand girl, and this is my brand new one. I got her at Target with my Roller Maze Lagoona. I really wanted her because she has green lips and she's really unique looking, and I love her hair. And then I got this doll during the summer of 2014 with my Skull Shores Lagoona. She was wearing Lagoona's outfit, so I had bought her too so I could have Lagoona's outfit, and I kind of wanted another Frankie. Shh. So then we have Scaris Frankie. I got her with Scaris Clawdeen on sale at Kmart. I love her. I love her blue lips. What kind of made me want this doll was I was making my Monster High guide, and I was trying to find pictures of her face, and when I found a really good picture of her face and I saw her amazing blue lipstick, I just had to have her. And then we have my Ghouls Rule Frankie. She was one of my first second-hand Monster High dolls. I got her from Monster High Lady, but well before the ones I got this summer. I got her during the summer of 2014. And she was still in her box, but she had been like taken out and displayed but shoved back in it. My lovely Voltageous Power Ghouls Frankie. Again, I like Picture Day Lagoona. I wasn't all that wowed when I saw pictures of this doll online. I was actually looking for Toralei from this line when I saw a ton of her at Target, and I fell in love in that moment, and I kind of wanted her more than Toralei. So I stocked this doll, and I stocked this doll. And when she finally went on sale for $9, we made a special trip to Target just for her. She's probably my favorite Power Ghouls doll that I have. And then we have Haunt the Casbah Frankie, who I got at Barnes & Noble too. She's amazing. I love dolls with glittery makeup. Then we have Freak Du Chic Frankie, which if you've been watching me for a while, she was in one of my haul videos. I got her for $4 on clearance at Walmart. She's beautiful and really cute. Then we have my Abbeys. This is first edition Abbey. There's two different box dates for these because they were released over a span of time. Mine's dated 2011. There are other ones dated 2010. I got her on eBay. She's one of the 3 dolls I got from eBay, 3 or 4. I got her right around my birthday in 2013. I really wanted this Abbey. I love her like Muppety, Bratz Wintertime Wonderland-esque outfit. This is I Heart Fashion Abbey. I got her at the Salvation Army recently. She's in my last transformation video. Love her purple lips. Roller Maze Abbey. I got her at Target with Frankie and Lagoona from the Roller Maze line. I got a bunch of dolls that night because I'm bad. I love her because she has short hair, and my doll doesn't have glitter on her face. She's some kind of like weird factory defect. She doesn't have glitter. Don't make a double the recipe, Abby. Basically, long story short, I wanted both of the like 2-packs from this wave. I wanted the Cleo and Ghoulia pack and the Abby and Heath pack. I really, really liked Heath. I have a thing for dolls, like guy dolls with like mohawky type hairstyles. I don't know why, I just do, and I always loved Abby, and I love dolls that come with food. I don't know why, so I really wanted them, but they were getting scalped big time. That was kind of the problem when I got into Monster High dolls. Everyone was scalping them. So my sister made like 1,000,000 phone calls. We were able to get Ghoulia and Cleo first, but then a few weeks later, we ended up getting her and Heath, and we had to go like an hour away to get them at a certain Target. And on the way home, there was this car accident that I saw happen that was like this huge tractor-trailer truck hit this pickup truck. And then we have Hunt the Casbah Abby. I didn't like this doll when she came out. I thought her hair was really gross looking because in the box it's like a frizzy, ratty, tinsely mess. But I found her, I think the same day as my Bratzilla's basic Sasha Bella doll. She was $9, and I'm a sucker for Monster High dolls on sale, so I bought her, and she is amazing. She's seriously one of the most beautiful Abby dolls in my collection. Then we have Dead Tired Abby. I got her at the Family Dollar for the buy one get one half off sale. Actually didn't get her on sale because I only bought 3 dolls, but I wanted her. Here's Abby. This was one of my first Monster High dolls. I want to say she was my 4th Monster High doll in my collection. I got her at my local Walmart. I was literally buying a Monster High doll every time I went to a store at that time. But she's really special to me. She's probably my sister's favorite Abby doll. And then we have my Music Festival Abby. I got her at the Barnes & Noble Bonanza too. And I always wanted this doll because I loved her like hippie, bohemian kind of styling. I love Abby, and when I went to order some Dead Tired dolls and like out-of-date Monster High dolls off Kmart's website, they didn't have any of the dolls in stock, so they sent me a bunch of newer Monster High dolls, and I ended up with a Music Festival Abby and like 2 Clawdeens and some Scaris dolls, and I really wanted to keep like some of the dolls, but because they were so expensive and because they sent me duplicates and because I wanted some Bratzilla's dolls, I ended up returning them because it just made sense. And then we have Coffin Bean Abby, who I got at the same time as this Abby doll. So she was part of the Barnes & Noble Bonanza. I don't know why, but I really wanted this Abby doll. Sometimes I just get a fix for like a random doll, and that was the case with this Abby. Then we have my Cleo dolls. I don't have that many. I think Cleo is tied with Clawdeen for the prettiest Monster High character. So this is my first edition Cleo. I should point out the obvious. Yes, she has a haircut. I got her from Monster High Lady during the summer of 2014. I got her for $3, and part of why I wanted her was this is one of the sets I most wanted when I got into collecting Monster High dolls. I love Egyptian themed stuff. I'm a big like Egyptian history buff. I always have been since I was 9. I wanted the Deuce from the pack, and this Cleo is gorgeous, and part of why I went for this Cleo is because she was just wearing this jumpsuit, and in the Lagoona bin, I actually had found this shirt, so I was all about like mating this doll with her stuff and evening out her haircut, and it actually works for her, this haircut, and I tracked her down these special like skeleton charms at Savers. I had a vision for earrings I wanted for her, and I found the perfect charm. So then we have my School's Out Cleo. She's the prettiest Cleo doll ever. I've wanted her since the day I started collecting Monster High dolls, but I couldn't ever find her, and I finally got her this summer for $5 from Monster High Lady. I was like the luckiest girl in the world because I got most of the dolls I really, really wanted. Then we have Skull Shores. Yes, her bangs are parted funny. My doll's bangs came jacked up, so I trained them to go over to the side because it's just more manageable. She was my least favorite doll from the pack for a long time, but once I got her bangs to kind of move out of her face, I really learned to appreciate her amazing face and her bronze makeup and her really cool Anubis shoes. So we have Scaris. She was my first Cleo doll. I saw pictures of her on the line, and I had to get her. I made my sister go out to Toys R Us with me just to get this pack. How could you just not love this Cleo? She's so beautiful. And while I love Lagoona just as much now, I still think Cleo's prettier. My Lab Partners Mad Science Cleo doll. I saw promo pictures of these dolls, like leaked ones, when I first started collecting Monster High dolls and I was putting together my Monster High guide. And I fell in love with the grainy pictures of this doll. I thought she was so beautiful and so magnificent, and I really, really, really wanted her. So when she finally came out, I was like, I have to get this Cleo doll. I tried to pre-order the 2 sets of Heath and Abby and Cleo and Ghoulia for my birthday that year, but Target canceled my order. At some point, Colleen called around and we were hoping to get like both sets at the same time. So some stores had Cleo and Ghoulia because they were being less scalped, and we passed up a few, and at some point we started to panic because we couldn't find them anywhere. Colleen ended up finally getting a hold of a set, and when she was on the phone and she was asking the employee if they had this doll or the Heath and Abby set, the employee said, oh, we only have Cleo and Ghoulia, and she thought that my sister wasn't going to be happy, and Colleen was like, oh my god, thank you so much, I'm so glad, can you put it aside, because we were that desperate. When I look at these dolls, they remind me of Colleen. I always appreciate that she made so many phone calls to get me these dolls, and that we like drove out just to get them. Maybe my most sentimental Monster High pack in my collection, maybe. Then we have my Picture Day Cleo. I got her on sale at Walmart for like, I don't know, $9 maybe. I really wanted her from the get-go, but I was waiting for her to go on sale. I love her deep purple lipstick and her cool hair. Then we have Blue York Cleo. I got her this past summer on a okay sale at Walmart. I was stocking the set for a long time and it was starting to phase out of stores, so I ended up just getting her for some kind of discount instead of a really, really good one. She's actually in one of my haul videos. And then we have this Cleo, Dead Tired Cleo. She's a re-release, a 2015 re-release. She was the first doll of 2016 I bought. I got her the same day that my sister got one of her Stacy dolls on sale. And she was the prettiest Dead Tired doll, in my opinion, from that wave. I wanted Draculaura the most when I got into collecting, but she's the prettiest. So I was really, really happy that Mattel re-released this set. Like, thank you, Mattel, for being kind and re-releasing stuff. Thank you. So then we have my 3 Venus McFlytrap dolls. Please excuse the little, like, dots of paint on these 2. Someone was wearing shoes that had painted details and it must have rubbed on them, so I'll have to wait until it's warmer outside in the spring to stain remove them. Remember, before I got into Monster High dolls, I saw the first edition Venus at my Walmart, and I thought it was a really dumb, weird idea because a Venus flytrap plant isn't a monster. And I used to kind of make fun of them because I wanted them. And when I got into collecting, go figure, I wanted the stupid Monster High doll. I got her on eBay, and yes, she has a lot of chips in her eyebrows, and that's because the seller I got her from was selling like damaged dolls at a discount price. And I knew full well when I bought her that she would have damage, and you know, honestly, I don't mind the little chips in her eyebrows. I always thought they were kind of cool. Love how Venus dolls have side cuts. It's really awesome. Swim Class Venus was my first Venus doll. There weren't a lot of Venus dolls out at the time when I got into collecting Monster High, so I realized when I decided to get my first Monster High dolls that I should get Venus too, because I didn't know if they'd make more of her, and I'm really glad I did. She's amazing, she's beautiful. And I have eyeshadow variations of this doll. I have the one with the pink eyeshadow, some of the green. Fool's Night Out Venus. She's my favorite from the pack. She is one of the most amazing Monster High dolls ever. Like, she has so many cool details. She has like rose earrings and like this amazing rose purse. She is seriously she's a work of art, this doll. She really is. So then we have sister pack Howleen. So I wanted this doll because she has orange and yellow hair. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I have orange and yellow hair, and I thought that she was so cool for that reason, and I loved her like styling. So I bought the pack for her, and we actually called Target ahead of time to have them set aside the pack. I got Dance Class Howleen before this one. She was my first Howleen doll because I really wanted a Howleen doll, and so I got her at Target the same night as a bunch of my Roller Maze dolls, my Power Ghouls Clawdeen. My 13 Wishes Howleen, I got her the same day as this pack of the Lab Partners. So we went there to get Cleo and Ghoulia. And while we were there, of course, I looked at the other dolls that they had. This line had just hit stores, and I fell in love with Howleen the moment I saw her. Then we have my Operettas. So this is first edition Operetta. I got her on eBay around the time I got Abby, so it was around my birthday that year. I bought like a bunch of Monster High dolls for my birthday that year. code for just an excuse to spend a lot of money on dolls. So she was boxed when I got her, and I remember that the seller, for some reason, after we paid for her, was asking if we would wait 2 weeks for them to ship the doll, and it kind of sounded shady. So my sister said, oh, it's a birthday gift for my little sister. It was true, but it kind of made me sound like I was a little kid, but I'm kind of a big kid anyway, so it's okay. I love her. She's one of my favorite Operetta dolls ever made. Then we have Dot Dead, gorgeous Operetta. I got her this summer for $1 at the flea market in a really scruffy condition. You can see I made her some earrings. Then we have my Picture Day Operetta, who's probably my favorite. I got her in my re-release first edition Clawdeen from Target's website. I really wanted this doll. She's one of my favorite Monster High dolls ever. I like how she's very like 50s styled. And then we have Roller Maze Operetta. I got her from Monster High Lady in 2014. She was used. And the funny thing is, like literally a few days before I got this doll, I had been working on my Monster High guide, and I realized how awesome Roller Maze Operetta was, and I had said to Colleen that I wanted Roller Maze Operetta, and then literally the next day I got her. So then we have my Rochelle dolls. I only have 3, but Rochelle is one of my favorite characters. So we have first edition Rochelle. I got her at Walmart with first edition Rebecca when I first got into collecting. Scarce Rochelle, who was the first like not budget Monster High doll I ever got, so I just kept seeing her when I was like looking for Scarce Deuce and when I got my swim class dolls, so I just decided I wanted her, and I'm so glad I got her. Her bangs are a little squished from being in storage, but she's one of my favorite, most special Monster High dolls. And then, of course, we have Ghouls Night Out, Rochelle, who I almost bought separately, but I'm glad I waited because I ended up getting her in the pack, and I like she doesn't have bangs. Like, doesn't Rochelle look so sad and vulnerable? Like, you just want to hold this doll and let her know it's going to be okay. Toralei was one of the characters that really drew me into the Monster High line. I wanted to get the Go Team 3-pack that came with this Melody and Persephone when I got into collecting. She was one of the first sets of Monster High dolls I got. She is second favorite Monster High doll in my collection with one of my Scarce Deuce dolls. So it's first edition Draculaura and then Toralei tied with Deuce. And I got her, I want to say it was Easter Day of 2013. And my sister and I went to my uncle's for Easter that year. And I remember she had gotten a Skipper doll on eBay, and we had them in the sink together, like soaking. And the whole time we were at Easter, we literally were musing about how we wanted to go home and play with our dolls. Like, is that not terrible? So then we have Power Ghouls, Toralei. I really wanted this doll because she reminds me of Catwoman, and I'm a huge Batman fan. Looked for her everywhere, I couldn't find her, and then one day, the day I got my Witchy Princesses dolls, actually, from Kmart, we went to Toys R Us to see if they had Angelica Sound, and then on our way home we stopped in at Target, and all by herself in the Disney Princess section in the plain sight was this Toralei. It was literally like we were meant to be together. A Freak du Chic Toralei. You guys have seen her in a haul video in the past. I got her for $4 at Walmart in the clearance section. Then we have my 2 Werecat Sister Pack dolls. So I wanted the pack for this Toralei because I loved her short hair and I love Toralei dolls, but I was really curious about Melody and Persephone, so I was really glad to like sample them when I got that pack. And I liked them so much that I ended up stocking these guys. I like used my rewards points to get a coupon, and then I used the coupon to get these guys at Toys R Us. They're some of my favorite Monster High dolls. So Melody and Persephone. Then we have my Spectra. So this is first edition Spectra. I got her at the flea market in 2014 for $3, along with my Skull Shores Lagoona. Picture Day Spectra. I got her on the Barnes & Noble Bonanza in 2014 for half off. She is probably my favorite Spectra doll. I really love her outfit. And then I have Ghouls Night Out Spectra, who I also got on the Barnes & Noble Bonanza. And I had seen her at the flea market earlier that summer, but she was missing some hands, so I couldn't get her. So I was really glad to get her brand new for so cheap. And then we have my 2 Skeletas. I love Skeleta dolls. I wish I had more. This is Scarce Skeleta. I got her at Walmart. I literally got into a super fix for the Scarce dolls, so I started tracking them down one by one. And my sister and I like to talk in Spanish to this doll. My art class Cleo, who I got on sale at Marshall's. I really love her. She's adorable. I know it's pronounced Gina Fire, but we have always called her Gina Fire, and I like to call her Gina. I always call her Gina. That's what I call Gina Fire. So I got her on Target's website with my Fizz Dead Ghoulia. I love that she's a dragon. I had no clue what she was supposed to be, but when I looked it up and I realized she was a dragon, I had to get her. And then this is Freak Du Chic Gina, who you guys would have seen in a haul video. I got her for $4 at Walmart. I got her with my first edition Rochelle at Walmart when I first got into collecting Monster High, and I love her eyes. They are the coolest eyes ever. They're like little gears. And then I got Coffin Bean Rebecca for $1 this past summer with my Dot Dead Gorgeous Operetta. We have Nephra and Cupid. I got them for $5 each this summer at the flea market. I always wanted Nephra. She is beautiful, and I like that she's on a bigger body because it's a lot sturdier. And I actually looked into getting her a lot on eBay, but she was crazy expensive for a while, so I'm glad I waited. And then we have Cupid, who I like Ever After High's version of Cupid more, but I don't know, when I saw her like in the flesh at the flea market out of her box, I just fell in love. Trained to Mew. I never saw her at my local Walmart, and then I went to another Walmart one day and I saw like a mass overstock of these dolls, so I bought her, and I loved the cat Monster High dolls, and I'm so glad I have her. I'm surprised I don't have more Katrines. Then I have Twyla. I got her at the Barnes & Noble Bonanza. She's so cute. My Twyla doll, though, has like some kind of defect. Her legs are super duper loose, and I've never like played with her. Then we have Catty Noir. I got her in 2013 around the holidays. She was like $8 or $9 in the clearance section, and I literally bought her because she was a cat and she was on sale. And then before I forget, I have Costa Fierce and Honey Swamp. They don't sit. Her outfit is too tight, and she has like really loose limbs that are supposed to be like a marionettes. That's why they're laying down. Costa is one of the most amazing Monster High dolls in the entire world. I love her very much. I bought her for full price because I wanted her that badly. And then I got Honey on sale with my other Freak Du Chic dolls for like $4. LED dolls. LED. I call them Ellie. So, I got her on sale for $4 at Walmart with the other Freak Du Chic and Boo York dolls. And then I have two of the City Ghouls dolls because I got her at the flea market for $1. And the funny thing is, the reason why I had not bought the 3-pack before, because I really wanted Mercedes, who we'll get to in a minute, was because I wasn't a huge fan of Ellie. I just couldn't get into her, but when I found her at the flea market, she was the first one I saw in the container, and the first one I grabbed, and the first one I knew I was going to buy, and lo and behold, I fell in love with her, and lo and behold, Colleen said that I bet we're going to end up with two of them, because you have to have that Mercedes doll. And sure enough, I did. So, here she is. That's the one that I got brand new. And I got them on sale for $7.50. More about them later. So then we have this Mercedes doll. I stalked Mercedes for a long time. I really wanted Mercedes because my mom, when she was alive, loved mice. Like, loved mice. And I don't know, this doll kind of makes me feel connected to my mom because she loved mice so much, and I know she would have thought these were really cute. Not the rest of the Monster High dolls, but she would have thought these were cute. So it's not every day I find dolls that remind me of my mom. So I really wanted her, and I wanted the pack one more than the separately sold one, but I found her at Walmart for $6 in the clearance section. It made my whole life. I literally stalked this doll from the day she came out. And then I got this doll who I named Joya after my mom. So my mom's name was Joy. I named her Joya. I like her better because her outfit's cuter. She reminds me of this little like mouse picture thing we used to have outside. And the story behind this pack was that night that I found them, my sister needed me to go to the school she works at and bring her some paperwork, and I like pretty much had like a meltdown that night because I couldn't find her, and there was a bunch of people in the school, and I didn't know where she was, and I basically had like an anxiety attack. I was starting to feel like my ears like buzz and my heart race, and I felt like I was gonna throw up, and so I went to Walmart to kill some time to pick her up after her thing. And I found these dolls, and it literally calmed me right down. Like, it made my whole night. Colleen thought she was a dead woman when she got in the car because she knew how upset I was. And then she realized I found these dolls, and she was never more happy that I found dolls in my entire life because they literally calmed me down. So Joya is probably one of my most sentimental Monster High dolls. And then, of course, we have Luna Matthews, who I got from the same pack. She's adorable. She looks kind of like Jade. And then we have my boys, Flomo. I wanted him because he's Ghoulia's boyfriend, and I love Ghoulia, and I found him one day at Walmart, and he was, you know, a slim box budget doll, so I just bought him, and he's adorable. Then we have Invisibility, who I wanted for a long time. Even before they made the doll, I used to watch some of the episodes of the Monster High show online, and I thought he was a really good-looking character. I loved the way he's styled. So I was really glad when they made him a doll, and I found him in 2015 at Kmart for $9, and I had never seen him before, so it was really cool that I found him on sale. Then we have Manster's Gil. I got him on sale with Deuce one day, just because I really like boy dolls. I really wanted a Gil doll because he's Lagoona's boyfriend, and they came with cool stuff. Then we have Heath, which you guys heard the whole story about Heath and Abby and them. But he's awesome. He's probably my second favorite Monster High boy character after Deuce because he's really cute. I love him. He's styled really well. And then we have Dawn of the Dance Deuce. Holy grail doll right here. I love his mohawk that's parted to the side. That is why I got Blue York Deuce. We'll get to him in a minute. But I wanted him since before I was even into Monster High, and I couldn't believe that I finally found him for like $5 in perfect condition at the flea market. His shoes are in storage. He is the bomb. And then we have my 3 Scarce Deuce dolls. This is Deuce Gluttony to the max. So we have eBay Deuce, Kmart Deuce, and Walmart Deuce. So on Easter 2013, I could no longer wait to find a Deuce doll at the stores. So against Colleen's wishes, I went on eBay and paid like $25 for this Deuce doll. He was in the mail coming. P.S. I bought him from someone who must have scalped, so that was a big no-no. The day he was supposed to come, I was at Kmart, and I found this guy with my Scarce Ghoulia. And I thought it was destiny, and I thought, well, in case something happens in the mail, I'll get him too, because, you know, they're budget dolls. So I got him. I had a fashion pack for Deuce already. I bought a fashion pack for him, so I thought I could put him in the fashion pack, and he would be Scarce Deuce. He's my favorite of the 3. Don't ask why. He's just really good looking. And then there was always a joke that if I saw another Scarce Deuce doll, that I'm an addict and I would buy another one. And when we saw him at our local Walmart, I lived true to that joke and I bought him. I shouldn't have done that, but, you know, I don't regret it. I have 3 Scarce Deuces. And then we have Manster's Deuce, who I got with Gil. He's adorable. I have a Deuce problem. I almost bought the a new Deuce doll from the Dance the Fright Away. Then we have Blue York Deuce, who I'll admit, I bought him. I wanted the pack because A, Cleo's beautiful, and B, he was the closest thing to Dawn of the Dance Deuce that Clawdeen, we already talked about you, who I could get at the time. And I actually got him like a few weeks before the other guy, so it all worked out. I'm glad I have both. No regrets there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it was really long, but I have a lot of dolls. They mean a lot to me. And I know some of you guys like the longer videos, so if you want to see pictures of these dolls, feel free to check out my albums on Flickr. And until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.